Hey everyone, it's Carl from the Real Estate Guys here. And one of the most common questions I get asked as a realtor is, how's the market? And I got to tell you, the answer to that question is a lot more complicated than you might think. Depending on whether you're a buyer, a seller, an investor, the answer to that question is going to be very different. And what I'm going to do is go over a market update for you as of the end of September 2018 versus where we were at 2017 for September. So hopefully you're going to find this information very informative and it'll give you some insight to the marketplace as well as I'll try to address that question of how the market is. So the first graph that I've got up here is sales and active listings. You can see that year over year sales for 2018 were about 1.9% more than last year at this time. And active listings, again, were up about 5% over last year. So we've got a fairly stable market. Price points, just so you know, have gone up about 2.8% over last year versus this year. Right now, we're sitting at an average price point of about $796,000 versus $774,000 for 2017. So you can see that we're sitting in a very stable marketplace. And you can see also here months of inventory is what MOI is. Right now we've got approximately 3.1 months of inventory on the market. And what that means is if you took all the properties that we had for sale on the market right now, which is just over 20,000, it would take approximately 3.1 months to sell all of that inventory. So you can see year over year, we're pretty much very stable. So we're certainly more stable market than we were last year. This is probably where we felt the biggest difference. Right now, year over year sales as of the end of September are down about 18%. So the market's certainly been less active. We've got less sales this year in comparison to the year before. 60,000 versus 73,000 sales. So I think that's why people are feeling the market slow down, where in actual fact the market's kind of increased slightly from last year. But there's no question that the banner year that we had last year in sales, we're definitely not going to meet those sales projections again this year. And we wouldn't have expected that to happen because last year was certainly what we would call an anomaly in the marketplace. So yes, we're below last year's numbers, but as you'll see in a couple of other slides I'm going to review, we're in a very stable market. Again, we talked about months of inventory, and in 2018, you can see that we've had pretty much about 3 months of inventory every month. Whereas last year, in the early part of the year, when we had that big boom, we were sitting at about less than 1 month's worth of inventory. And I think that's what caused the big surge in price points. Well, it was certainly one of the main reasons for that. And since we've gotten more inventory on the market, buyers have a lot more to choose from. Properties are taking longer to sell, depending on the marketplace that you're in. So this kind of gives you an indication of a more stable market that we've certainly been experiencing. When we look at comparison of sales, so units month over month, you can see that the gray bar graphs are 2017. We really had a huge surge in sales in the first half of last year. And when we look at the 2018 numbers, we definitely sold a lot less properties in the first half of 2018 than we did in 2017. But what you can see has happened since June is month over month, we've actually sold more units than what we sold in 2017 in the second half of the year. Again, indicating that we're back to a more stable marketplace, one that is what we would call more balanced. This can also be indicated by the active listings. As I indicated earlier last year, we had a lot less properties on the market in the first half of the year, and that's certainly attributed to the high price spike that we had in the first half of 2017. But you can see that we've returned to a more balanced marketplace. So earlier I said we have about 3 months worth of inventory in the marketplace. The way we look at it as realtors is if we've got between 4 to 6 month worth of inventory in the marketplace, that's what we call a balanced market. Anything under 4 we would consider to be a seller's market, meaning that sellers are usually at more of an advantage. And anything over 6 is what we call a buyer's market, where buyers are certainly in a stronger position to go in and negotiate. Right now, we're sitting at about 3 months, 3.1 months worth of inventory. So we're certainly approaching a more balanced marketplace. But I'm going to talk to you a little bit about micro markets and what that might mean to you, depending on your situation. So the first micro market we're going to talk about is when we look at the different products that we have in the marketplace, detached, semi-detached, townhomes, and condos, you can see that this is a tale of two markets. So if you're a seller looking to sell a detached property right now, it's taking about 4.2 months to sell all of the detached inventory that we have in the marketplace right now. So if you own a detached property, what you might find is going to take you longer to sell, and there's certainly a lot more selection for buyers to go through when they're looking at a detached product. So I would say buyers are in a little bit more of a driver's seat in the detached market, but when you look at semis, townhomes, and condos, we're certainly in a much faster paced marketplace where we're sitting around 2 months worth of inventory. And I can tell you by working with buyers who are looking for these types of properties, the condo market in particular is a very hot market, meaning that condos, if you're a buyer looking to buy a condo, you need to make quicker decisions, and we are still getting a lot of multiple offers in these 3 market segments. So, when you ask me that question, how's the market? One of the first questions I'll ask you is, okay, what are you looking to buy? And that'll dictate a response that I feel might be appropriate for you in your particular situation. If we break this down a little bit more, when we're looking at detached, semi, or condos, you can see that the 905 area is a lot, well, not a lot, but you have more inventory in the marketplace. The 416 area codes, you've got less inventory, so you'll see some different results based on whether you're looking to buy in the 905 area code or the 416 area code. So again, how's the market would depend on where you're looking to buy and what type of property or product you're looking to buy. We talked about historical sales trends, and you can see that we're estimating about 80,000 units being sold in 2018. When you compare it to the last 3 years, we're certainly down on total sales for the year. But when you look at the historical trend of about anywhere from 80 to 90,000, we're certainly in a more stable marketplace. Yes, we're not going to reach our high points of the last 3 years, but I think we'd all agree that those were definitely bumper years when it came to real estate. This is one of my favorite graphs when you look at the historical average price points for properties. You can see over the last 10 years, in 2008, you could have bought an average property for $379,000 in Toronto. Right now, the average, as I indicated earlier, is sitting around $796,000. And this includes properties of all types. Now, you can see we're definitely down from last year, which we anticipated for sure, but not much. We've only come down from about a high of 823 to 796, which is where we're sitting at now. So it's still relatively a very strong marketplace. The last graph I want to go over with you here is my most favorite graph. And this shows what's happened to the average price of a property from 1966 to 2018, year over year. You can see what a great investment real estate has been over the last 30, 40 years. I mean, don't we all wish we would have bought a property even here when things peaked in 1989 and came back down? The average price of a home here was sitting at around $280,000. I'm pretty sure all of us would have loved to have bought 2 or 3 properties at this time, even though markets came down for about an 8-year period since then. I guess this really shows the strength of real estate as an investment. And I want to encourage you, if you're wondering what you're going to do to secure your long-term financial future, look at real estate. I heard a stat where more fortunes have been made in real estate than any other investment product. And, you know, as an average homeowner myself, we all kind of tend to understand real estate and what it is and how it operates. And real estate is one of those investments that has been proven to be a great investment. And it's something that we can all kind of feel comfortable with. So, if you're looking to buy or sell, obviously, how's the market's going to depend on what you're looking to do. Are you looking to buy a detached property, a condo? I want to encourage you to give us a call. Call us and let's sit down and talk for about 45 minutes just to see what your situation is so that we can best advise you on what might be the best course of action for you. Feel free to reach out to us at 416-520-4625 or email us at csconza@kw.com. We're here to help out. Jamie and I, Melissa and I, we're here to help you any way we can. And we just want to make sure that you guys are given the right advice when it comes to buying or selling real estate. So until we meet again, make it a great day.